getting ready to take off my next load. This is actually the second load that I've taken off. I really kind of started yesterday taking units apart. As you see, I took all the bodies off, all the covers and stuff like that. If I have motors that the blades have rusted to the shaft, you know, they kind of get thrown over here till I get the grinder or the sawzall out, and I'll cut all that stuff off and get those units taken off, or get those motors taken off. Of course, the motors go separately because you get a little extra for that. And then of course the contactors and the transformers, they'll get taken off separately, and the wires. Everything's going. But my first load yesterday, I took 800 pounds off, and steel's at 10 cents a pound, so you know I only got a check for 80 bucks. But you got to take the cheap shit off before you can take the good stuff off. You know, the compressors, they're 15 cents a pound, I believe. The motors are 25 cents a pound. I don't know what the number 1 and number 2 or the coils are. The pile's starting to look a little thinner. Trying to decide if I want to go to Marietta and dump this off for 10 cents a pound. It's not a lot here, actually, so I don't know if it would be worth the trip for 10 cents a pound when I can just take it up to the local scrap yard. They pay like 7 cents a pound. That's what I'll probably do because of the time, and like I said, there's not a lot here. Those furnaces don't weigh a whole hell of a lot without the motors in them. Got some leaf springs here from where we lifted my son's 96 Jeep Cherokee. Got the coil springs down there. So I have a little bit of everything in the pile. Those wheels right there actually came off of this truck when I bought it. And then I got some more wheels somewhere else. Those wheels there, they came off my son's Jeep Cherokee. Ford Mustang radiator right there. Got a Miata radiator over here. Coming out of my other son's little Miata. It's all plugged up on the inside. I'm gonna take this stuff off to the scrap yard and get a little bitty check for it. Come back and start taking carcasses apart. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave those compressors to the next load. And of course I got some train coils over there. All my units, I've got them cut up. Got a bunch of motors, compressors, condenser coils, contactors over in that 5-gallon bucket right here. You can't see it, but you can barely see the opening of that tote there. That's where my number 1 and number 2 that I've cut off is. All these are condenser coils here. Got my evaporators, slabs, just kind of hanging out. Pretty much to hold the compressors down because keep them from moving. Last time I took compressors in, one of them fell over and the back of the truck was full of oil. So let's go see how much they pay us. I know copper's down right now, kind of is what it is. Got a lot of weight on the back of the truck, but still setting up pretty high. And then I still got those over there to cut up. Still got the geothermal, I'm gonna save it for last. And my old 30-year-old train. Looks like the load is still intact back there. Well, I just left the scrapyard after that big load of coils and compressors and stuff, and so up to date are the receipts I do have in the truck. Let me go over kind of what I've got. So on this one here, I took one load of steel off. You see, it's 10 cents a pound, and I took 800 pounds off. I got 80 bucks. So that's one. It's a different scrapyard I went to, one that's kind of close to the house, and as you can see, there's 538 pounds I got a big $40.35 because it's 7.5 cents a pound on that one. Same scrapyard, the one that pays 7.5 cents. I took off, what is that? 661 pounds, $68.48. And then for my, my motors and transformers and contactors and coils and stuff like that, number 1 and number 2 copper. Now this is half of what I had, so as you see, my total was $1,393.76 for my copper aluminum coils. The first was 303 pounds, $1.25 a pound, $378. And then transformers, I had 11 pounds, $3.30. Copper bearings, that must be for the contactors. I had 28 pounds of contactors, $3.92. Compressors, 992 pounds. And I think I had like 14 compressors or something like that. $168.64. Number 1 copper had 64 pounds of number 1. $166.40. Number 2 copper, I had 73 pounds of number 2 copper, $182.50. Another thing of copper aluminum coils, because there was 2 things, at 341 pounds, $426.25 at $1.25 a pound. And the electric motors, 320 pounds at 20 cents a pound, $64, for a grand total of $1,559.69. Now, I've got a couple $100 worth of receipts at the house too, so far in a couple months I've been doing the scrap. You might as well say almost $1,800 just, and that's half my pile. Well, a little over half. So I'll definitely, by the time it's all over, get $3 grand for what I had out there, and that's just free money.